Okay, this is going to be a review for tomorrow's quiz on Ionic Naming and Writing. Um, we're just going to get down to it. In the first example, we have the formula for sodium chloride, which is table salt. Um, how you name it, like I just kind of gave you the answer. But you look at the first part of the compound, and that's the metal, the cation, and that you just write the name of the element. So you write sodium, right? Then when you go to the second part of that, we have chlorine, but you don't write chlorine. You add the suffix IDE on the end of those words. So the second part of that would be, instead of chlorine, to be chloride, okay, sodium chloride. Here, same kind of situation. We're going to add on IDE to this one. Aluminum is not a transition metal. No parentheses or Roman numerals. So there's aluminum, so write the name. Aluminum, and that's sulfur, and that becomes sulfide when we add the IDE on the end of that. The next one, if you look at this, we have one element here, another element here, another element here. This is going to be a polyatomic ion. You're going to need to turn your periodic table over so that you can see what its charge when we need to start writing those formulas. Anyway, same kind of thing. We write the first part of the compound, lithium, just the name, and then the polyatomic ion name, that's phosphate, so you write lithium phosphate, and that's all you do. This next one, we have beryllium, so you write beryllium, and that is a sulfate, so we write sulfate, and that gives me beryllium sulfate. In this next one, we have sodium, write the name. That on your polyatomic ion table is carbonate, so you write carbonate. And that's all you really have to do. Sodium carbonate. Those subscripts there and there and there, they're not included at all when we write those names. For this one, sodium again. And that is a hydroxide from our polyatomic ion table, so we write hydroxide. Okay. Now, this one, iron is a transition metal. This is where our parentheses come in. So this 2 is really, really important. So I'm going to write my iron, and write some parentheses, then I'm going to write chloride at the end. All right, now, that 2 will become the charge for the iron. So that's the little shortcut method here. So take that 2 and put it in Roman numerals and put it in the parentheses. Okay? That's a very quick way to do that. Same kind of thing here. Silver is transition metal. And so we're going to write the name silver, parentheses here, and then we have a sulfite right here from your polyatomic ion table. And we look at this subscript right there. It's a 3. So we're going to put a 3 in parentheses here. All right? Now we're going to start writing the formulas for these. So you have to know the charges for all of these. And so, of course, it's calcium. We write calcium here. And phosphate is PO4. And so calcium has a 2+ charge. Phosphate is a 3-. What I told you to do is take that 3 or that number and put it right here, and take the 2 and put it over there. You're just going to switch them. And so your formula becomes Ca3 PO4, and since we have more than one phosphate, put parentheses around that, and there goes your 2. Okay. Here is calcium oxide. Remember, this is, before I say that, this is a polyatomic ion here. Polyatomic. More than one atom right there. So you got to use that chart in the back. Okay, back to calcium oxide. Calcium is Ca with 2+ charge. Oxide is oxygen, 2-. Since those charges there are equal and opposite, we're just going to write CaO. We don't have to write the charges at all. Iron 3 oxide. Now we're going to go in the reverse of what we did before. I'm going to write my iron right here, and then I'm going to write my oxygen right here. And so that 3 is the subscript. Well, we know it's the charge for the iron, but it's also the subscript for the oxide. And my computer just logged me out. I'm getting back in. So give it a second. There we are. Okay. So that 3 now becomes a subscript for the oxygen, and it goes right there. Lead 2 sulfite. Lead sulfite is SO2. So SO3, excuse me. And so that's going to be a 2, the subscript, and it goes right there. Okay? You just do the reverse of what we did before with naming these compounds here. Okay? Well, that should be it. Good luck. See you tomorrow.